If you'd like to have more time to draw, to be more consistent in your drawing in order to develop your drawing process, your drawing ability, your drawing observation, drawing understanding, then to find 15 minutes a day or 15 minutes every few days where you can at least put pen or pencil or whatever to paper can be incredibly helpful and satisfying. And one way to achieve this is to scale back what we draw. So if we love drawing architecture, as I do, we don't always have to draw a whole subject. Drawing a whole subject, a scene, brings lots of complications into a drawing because we have lots of things we're trying to balance. It's not just accuracy of shape and form, but it's also working out how we draw different parts of the scene relative to the other parts so that we get a focal point, so that we create a sense of distance and so forth. And often how we adjust the scale of what we're drawing with our pen to create marks that work for the detail, for the size we're drawing. There are lots of complicating factors when we draw a scene, but when we just draw a part of an object, we're freed from most of that. And in fact, we can just concentrate on the drawing of a fairly small scale object. And for me, architectural detail is a great way to do that for the subjects that I love to draw. And the benefit of doing small drawings such as this from the sorts of objects that we normally enjoy drawing is that, of course, we get to focus on details that normally are part of a much greater whole. And that means we can really intensify our observation and therefore our understanding of these objects so that when we do go to draw them again in a larger scene, we have a deeper understanding of what we're looking at. That will help us to see it more easily. It should help us to find better marks more quickly and to put them on the paper more accurately. So this sort of detail, it's a bay window that comes out on the corner of a building, is a great study to really spend just a few minutes focusing on the way windows such as this recess back into a wall. The inwards indents, all the depth lines that we get. Now, of course, drawing this as part of a much larger building, we're simply not going to have the space to draw lines that will cover every line that we can see in a close-up. But that's okay. We can't even draw all of them in this drawing with the line that I have. I'm using a 0.5mm pen, but I'm using it very lightly. I wanted to get fairly solid lines and yet still not have them too heavy. And so I found using a thicker pen lightly a better way of achieving this than using a thinner pen. So you can see what I'm doing. This took me 15 minutes in real-time drawing. I've sped it up by a quarter again, just to make it a little bit shorter to watch. But you're almost watching this real time. Please hit the like button if you find this video and indeed my channel helpful, because that really helps me. Hit the like button, leave a comment, even if it's just a few words, or very helpful for me. If you have ideas for drawing video subjects, let me know. I'm almost finished this first window. Sadly, I will soon come to grief with just the decoration at the base of the sides of the window where there's like a blocky bit molded in to the concrete. And I didn't draw that in early enough. I basically didn't observe it early enough, and I'd already taken my lines past where they needed to be. And then when I first tried to draw it in, I got confused as to exactly which lines it was underneath. But one of the great things about a quick sketch such as this, a quick practice exercise, is that, well, it really doesn't matter. It's not going to spoil a drawing. It's all about learning, and, well, I've learned something. I've learned where I need to pay attention next time. I've learned I need to observe the very base of what I'm drawing before I start, enough so that I don't make this mistake the next time I do it, and hopefully won't make this mistake when I have half a drawing already on the page that I'm really happy with. So this sort of exercise also gives us practice with perspective angles. They're a little bit wobbly here. I wasn't focused on it enough. But the other benefit we get, besides just observation and drawing, is just consistent practice at holding a pen and putting marks on the paper and gaining confidence, having the experience of what different marks and lines feel like to create, because that guides us almost intuitively in refining our movements so that we get the marks that we want. And we also, if we consistently use the same brand of pen, which I certainly would recommend, it doesn't matter what the brand is, but consistently use the same one, because all pens handle differently, they feel differently, the ink leaves via different mechanisms, and it appears on the paper in different ways. And so if we use the same pen brand, we can learn the consistencies of each brand, and that helps us. That's always going to help us. Now I decide to do the window to the right, which is seen at a very tight angle, and so it's going to be a bit challenging to draw because I can't just repeat more of the same. If there was a row of windows going across all on the same plane, then that would be fairly straightforward. And that can be fun to do too, because the pace picks up as we move along the windows. But in this case, the window's angled differently, the second window is angled differently, and so I need to go back to some careful observation. And you'll notice, and I'll put some marks on the photo in a moment, here I go, I'm aligning what I'm drawing with what I've already drawn. And I do that first with the reference, and then I go to my drawing and find those same points. Now, having said that, I also simply double check them by looking at my drawing and thinking, now, is this going to look in the right place? Because if I have a number of imperfections, shall we say, inaccuracies in my drawing, then it may not work out precisely, and I may have to, what I think of as, massage the alignment points on my drawing to make my drawing look okay. In the end, it's always the drawing that we bow to. It's the drawing that we'll have left, not the reference photo. That'll just be a scribbled up on piece of paper. And so here I go. The other thing when we do a small drawing such as this of a fairly small detail is we often end up doing lots of lines that are similar. So whether they're straight lines, whether they're angled lines, whether they're curved lines. And that means we simply get nice intense practice doing the same sort of marks. And that's a good way to become more accurate and more confident, more predictable in those marks. And if we do different practice exercises, then that builds over time confidence and experience in lots of marks. One of the problems with doing a drawing, say, of a building that has a dome, one single dome, is that we usually have those two quarter circle silhouette lines to nervously put in place. But in any one drawing, we don't do very many of them. So we don't get the experience of repeating. Now, of course, we can rehearse those lines on a scrap piece of paper. And I do talk about spending a few minutes doing experimental mark making. And that's more to work out whether the way we think we're going to create the visual effects in our scene, the marks we'll use for that, will work. But it's just as helpful for simply practicing what doing a nice rounded, even quarter circle line looks like, feels like, so that we can then do it more confidently and hopefully more accurately on our drawing. And personally, I think with architecture, these small architectural details can look very satisfying on their own. So while I'm not thinking of this as a whole drawing, in some ways it's still a satisfying thing to have produced at the end. So now I'm just trying to make the best of the lower part with what I've done. There's a few decorative parts that sit underneath this bottom ledge. And we're just about done. Please hit the like button if you haven't done it earlier. And why not check out my playlists if you haven't. It may be a way of helping you to navigate through the great number of videos on my channel to find the ones that are going to be most helpful. And at the end, I decided I'll just do a little bit of cross-hatching to help the three-dimensionality of it pop a little more. I hadn't planned to do this, but I had time. I was still within my 15 minutes. And so I thought, well, why not? It will just give it a slightly stronger sense of reality. Again, noticing that the shade down the right-hand edge is not the same on the right-hand window because it's angled differently to the light. It would have been easy having done the left-hand one where it was in shade all the way down to presume the same as the right, but it wasn't. G'day, I'm Stephen Travers. Hope you found this interesting. Why not give it a go? The reference, of course, on my channel community page. But whatever you draw, however long it takes, make sure you have fun. I'll see you next time. Bye.